Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Funhaus Podcast. Welcome back to another fun episode. It's Thanksgiving, so I want to start off in America. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it already happened in
to all
Canada
who celebrate.
like a month ago.
I'm here today with James and Ryan,
Hi, James.
Hi, Ryan.
and today's Thanksgiving, so we're here at the end of the year.
To talk about movies!
Yeah!
We are. We're
love
going to
movies.
talk about our favorite Christmas and Thanksgiving movies.
Oh, okay. That's way more specific.
I'm just kidding.
I was like, let's see. Okay.
I mean, Thanksgiving is just planes, trains, and automobiles, right?
Okay,
And
thank
now
you.
the
That's the movie
Thanksgiving
that I
movie.
wanted to watch for our watch
It's not a
party.
Thanksgiving movie?
No, now there's the Thanksgiving.
Now,
there's Thanksgiving.
exactly. There's
So
Thanksgiving.
there's two of them.
The Eli Roth.
Adam's Family Values is also a
okay.
Thanksgiving movie.
Sick.
Oh, we can
yeah.
watch that.
Yeah.
I guess some football movies are maybe.
There's probably something with like family that could pass for Thanksgiving. You know, something with like Ben Affleck or something. That rom-com. that he did
Geely?
forever. Glitter.
Is there like a animated? Isn't there a turkey like Hot to Trot or?
Oh yeah.
You're just thinking of the turkey trot where people run.
Charlotte had suggested Chicken Run as a Thanksgiving movie,
Is
Yeah,
it
kind of.
but it's
Thanksgiving?
British, which kind of makes it impossible to be a Thanksgiving
That's
movie.
true.
So,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
guess
chickens,
there's
not
the
turkeys.
Terrence Malick's A New World.
Of course, everyone
be
was
it.
thinking about that.
What do people even eat there?
In England,
Yeah.
spatchcock pie,
Cooked pie.
pimprum, picnic baskets,
And what's the thing that they eat in Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Triscuits. Oh, Turkish delight.
Turkish delight all
That's
day, every
actually
day.
Turkish.
Isn't Turkish
Oh.
delight a candy?
Fuck,
Yeah, it's a sweet.
Yeah, it's
It's
sweet.
a sweet.
it's Turkish, huh? Interesting.
What is
They
your...
just call it delights there.
Now, I do want to get into, and you guys can discuss a lot of the movies that you've seen this year.
Hell
I've
fucking
actually
yeah.
seen a few.
James,
Ooh, one or
Oh.
two.
Okay.
Yes, but we already
One or
talked.
two.
We already talked about them on this podcast.
like my
Oh.
sister. My sister's always like, I watch one movie a year, Ryan. What should it be? And I always have to try to do
Okay,
enough
I
research.
watch more than one movie a year,
All
but
right, well,
Yeah.
you do too.
I
Good
don't go
job.
to the theater very often.
Yeah, because it's
And I-
just You've Got Mail on VHS.
Yes, in my VCR. I actually have a question? Did the Mario movie come out this year?
Yes.
Okay, so I went to the movie 3 times.
Wow.
It did come out this
3
year?
times more than my sister.
Yeah.
I would rank it, but then I would forget how to get back to
James
this listing
spent
on Letterboxd.
15 minutes before this podcast trying to find on Letterboxd where he ranks his movies, which is the only thing he
I
uses
just want to
the
see
app
my
for.
star rating and not. I want to see it in the order of release date of the film.
Not when you logged it.
functionally, and not when it screens in some sort of foreign country or whatever.
And there's not a sort
when
thing
I
up there?
ranked it.
Okay.
So.
And
just
I, of
wanted-
course, have my very detailed actual Google Doc form here. You can see with
Yep.
all 39 movies I've seen this year
In the theater?
ranked. Most of them
theaters?
in the theater. Some of them were streamed, but most of them in the theater.
Yeah.
I'd say
You have a movie pass?
that's a sore subject in
Oh,
my
okay.
life.
What? Do you not?
I got a fucking movie pass. I
Oh,
love
oh,
movie
Movie
pass
Pass.
whenever it existed
yeah.
and stuff. So I'm like, oh, they're coming back for 2.0. I'm going to jump on that. I get it. I immediately lose my wallet, so I don't have it. And it is impossible to get in contact with these fuckers to get
Is
a
it
new
not
one.
an app? How is it not?
It is an app. They have the worst customer service. They suck. And so then I'm trying to just get my fucking physical card sent to me. And then it was basically impossible. And they kept charging me for months. So I was like, fuck this. I hate you all. And then, and it didn't roll over either. So it's not like I was just accumulating free movies. So fuck them. I've been converted to AMC Stubbs Pass.
Okay. All
I
right.
haven't got it yet, but here you are saying you're going to cancel
Yeah, I
yours.
mean, well, no, I just need to go see more movies. If I saw the amount that you saw, then I would be making gangbusters on
Yeah.
this AMC A list.
Right.
I think you need to see like at least 2 movies a month, which doesn't really seem like that much. But then when there's a drought, then
Yeah.
Then it's like, what are you going to do?
And you
Watch
can't-
some shit?
You can't cancel because if you do, you can't get back on for 6 more months. I hear. I think that's
oh
part
yeah,
of it.
something like that. I
Really?
think that you're locked in for the first 3 months. I
Makes
think is
sense.
how it goes.
Okay.
When you sign up, you have to sign up for 3 months at least.
Interesting.
But yeah, and then it has all these like points things. You can acquire points, but it doesn't matter because you're not actually spending any money. So I have like 0 points, even though I'm in the A-list gold tier or whatever, which is supposed to give you double the points to get free tickets.
Now, this is different, but I had Audible, and
The books?
and so I was like, yeah, I'll get a couple audiobooks. and then I didn't for about 3 years, and then I
Now
pay
you have-
for it every month.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like you can only have 12 credits, and then they expire. So for like 2 years, I've just
So
spent like $300 on.
couple things about that. You
Oops.
should get Libby.
I do have Libby. I do have that now, and I do
What
that
is
now.
Libby?
And I cancel.
Libby is the library app, and it allows you to check out books from the library, including audiobooks.
Yep.
Including movies?
And then Libby doesn't do movies. Libby does books, but another app, Kayak? Is it Kayak or something? There's another app that lets you check out movies.
Kayak's
you just stream it. You
Airline
can stream it.
comparison one.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm. Yeah. But there's another app that lets you. What is it? Canopy. It's Canopy with a K.
I've heard of this. Actually.
That one
Yeah,
lets you do stuff, and then there's another one that lets you basically
Hoopla.
Hoopla lets you like
what I
also
was looking
buy books from the library.
Oh.
So same as Audible, you acquire credits and you can do it.
All right.
I used to do Audible. I loved Audible,
Mm-hmm.
and then every time I would cancel, they would be like, "You sure you want to cancel? Here's 40 credits."
40?
They one time they gave me 40 is a hyperbole, but one time they gave me 20 credits.
Okay, so that's
when I
still
was going
a lot.
to cancel. And so I was like, well, I guess I have to use these credits
I
now.
can't. My problem is I want to cancel, but then I'll lose all the credits that I do have,
Yeah.
and I can't even think of like 8 audiobooks.
You should
ask for recommendations all the time, but then I go, how do I know?
you should just Google best audio books, right?
Yeah.
And then also best books to have read in your lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
and then cross-reference that list. And then just get a bunch of them, and then you'll just have like a digital shelf of like potential great works that you could always fall back and listen to. I recommend The Great Gatsby by Jake Gyllenhaal.
I got to remember how to.
That's a great read.
I got to learn how to read.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's great.
okay.
It's a great read.
You say you got to learn how to read?
Yeah, you guys sound like you're having so much fun.
Well,
with
you
it.
know,
Oh,
just listen
I
to
do.
it.
I love it.
You just listen
When
to
I
it.
flew back from the UK like a couple months ago, I was trying to sleep for a lot of it, but I could not put my Kindle down because I was enthralled in a book for like 6.5 hours. I was just like, this.
Did I ever tell
It
you?
was Grey's Anatomy of the novelization.
Nice. Did I ever tell you all? I worked at the unveiling event for the Kindle 2.
Ooh,
And
wow.
I rode a transpo van, and I one time got Jeff Bezos a Diet Dr Pepper.
That's pretty cool. You were
So,
that close.
What
kind
Kindle
of-
are they on now?
I don't fucking know. This was like 2011.
Isn't
Oh.
it funny to think that you got a bill? You
I could have
went and
poisoned
got
Jeff Bezos,
something for
yeah.
a billionaire.
Yeah.
You're like, here, I got you this code.
Third richest man in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I could have
At the
poisoned
time,
him and
was he,
killed
though?
him,
When
but I
was
wouldn't
this?
have.
He
I
might have
wouldn't
been
have.
the richest at the time.
Oh, it was like 2011 or 12.
So he might have been one or two, right? Because wasn't it Bill Gates and then Bezos?
You might be right,
And then
yeah.
it was that Mexican telecom guy.
Let us know down in the comments whether
talking about
Jeff
movies.
Bezos in 2011 was the richest man in the world. This is at the Santa Monica
yeah.
airport hangar.
When the Tesla stock surge. Anyway,
Anyways.
Lindsay, we concede back to you.
I mean, yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about some of your favorite movies this year. I also had written down here like, oh, let's talk about Thanksgiving and holiday traditions, but like, we don't really need to talk about that.
Going to the movies.
Going to the movies.
Going to the movies.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
That's it.
I was never a family. We were never a family that like went to the movies on Thanksgiving or Christmas. Later, though, as I was older and I would just go, it was just me going to spend Thanksgiving or Christmas with my dad and my mom during all the Hobbit releases. Every year, my dad
They're
and I
called
would
the
go.
Lord of the Rings. But yes,
No.
continue.
I think she's referring to the Hobbit releases.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lizzie, I didn't mean to make you feel I was the dumb one there. That was my fault.
Yeah,
You're
we
right.
know.
The
We know
Hobbit
you were.
Were movies. I completely
was very
forgot about them.
specific.
They suck, those movies. My bad.
You forgot there were 3 Hobbit movies.
Forget I said anything.
My dad and I would go every year on my birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
And we would go to IHOP where they had like the special, no, it was Denny's that had like
Yes.
the special different
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings breakfasts
No,
and
Hobbit.
stuff.
They were Hobbit breakfasts.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Jesus, Lindsay.
Anyways, I loved mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
My mom, or like my dad, will always be the one like to suggest, "Oh, hey, let's go see the big movie at Christmas or Thanksgiving." My mom always hates it. She's like, this is our family holiday. Like Thanksgiving's about family and being together. We can't just be sitting in a movie, but we usually go do it.
See, I would be like your mom because people try to plan things that I'm a part of and go, "Oh, well, we should do this movie thing at our place," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to do that."
Because you hate cinema.
Yes, I hate cinema and the arts and theatre.
You do not believe in supporting them. I understand.
What's your favorite movie that you saw this year?
This year, I got my list up here in order, ranked in order. I got the exact answer to that. And the
Okay.
answer. So we're starting at the top, not the bottom, I guess. That makes sense. But
I mean,
We can do the extremes or something, right?
Okay, we'll do the
Can we do the extremes?
All right.
I think I know what mine is. I have my highest rated things here. They're two very different movies, but I would probably.
I'm gonna write these down and I'm gonna listen to them on Audible.
I've got two that I can recall from this list standout 2023 releases because I've also seen some great stuff this year that I just had never watched.
Yeah.
before.
Well, that's different.
I watched a movie I never watched either, or until now, but it didn't come out this year. But we could talk about it later.
For me, for one, I'd like to preface it by saying that this year I think is very mediocre overall for movies. I thought last year was like A+ stellar,
But
amazing
this year was
year.
Barbenheimer.
Which was, I think, a high point, but I also think that the reason it was such a high is because everything around it was kind of
Yeah, exactly. So, so up till I saw two movies on Sunday, I believe, 2 days ago, that are now my number 1 and 2.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, and up till then, I had one at my number 1. I'm like, I like this movie a lot. I would not consider it a classic.
Okay.
You know, but now I think that the two movies I saw on Sunday, I would put them in the. I don't know, classic is a strong word, but very, very, very good movies that are really fun to see.
Okay.
Should I
What
say
are
what
they?
they are?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dream Scenario, number 1, the Nicolas Cage
Okay.
film.
Yeah.
With the guy from Belgium, I think. He made Sick of Myself, which is awesome. And then the horror movie I've been trying to get James to watch, When Evil Lurks.
You just mentioned it before the podcast.
That's what I
started,
mean. I've been trying
and
ever since the beginning of this
12 minutes
podcast.
into the podcast,
And he
so
refuses.
the way you phrased it made it sound like you've been hounding me for weeks.
I-
You saw it less than 48 hours
I know,
ago.
and it was so good. And then you were like, it's too late for scary movies. I'm like, you're going to wait till October next year to see it?
What is the movie that you
When
just said?
Evil Lurks. It will freak you out. I literally had
See, this I probably won't see.
It's not like just like a gorehound movie like a Terrifier 2 or something, which I did see this year. But it was just freaking me out. Like I literally had a hyperventilating dream.
Was it
Okay, then yeah, I'm not gonna see this movie.
Was it freakier or not than like say a Japanese house and someone's
House
walking
who?
around a Japanese house and every time he does the loop it gets more and more decrepit and bad and falls apart.
When you say Japanese house, you're talking about the movie House from
No,
Japan?
I'm talking about a house. Say you were walking around a house, a Japanese style home,
Okay.
hallway to hallway, and then you were. Does that sound scary? Is it scarier than that, or
Is this a callback to that?
Yes,
that,
it is.
That game thing we
Yeah.
did.
What is the game thing?
when on our
Was it-
Halloween stream we watched scary shorts, and Ryan was dumping on this one that was actually that Omer and I were the only ones paying attention
That's
to.
true, that's
that was
true.
just a loop of someone going like, "This is a tour of my house" with subtitles, but they kept going through the house looped, and it was one shot, but it was looped, and then it kept getting more and more decrepit, and then it would like creep in through a window, and you'd like see like a weird body or whatever.
No.
It was a slow burn. I was just he mentioned.
Yeah, no, this was way better than that.
Okay, gotcha.
In almost every single way.
Okay.
I loved it. The effects were amazing. This guy knows how to do pacing. You know, it's like you're watching it and things are happening, or just you're on a ride and you don't know where it's going to go. And I love that about it. I definitely have it, even though it's my number 2. Okay, this is a little bit of a spoiler alert. So if you want to watch it, don't listen to this. But the ending kind of sucks, is what I would say.
That's
So-
a tough sell there,
Yeah.
my friend, because you're saying it's your 1 and 2 and it can't
But
even
the
be good
ride
the whole way
is so
through.
fun. The ride is more than worth more than better than the destination. It was great.
See, it says here horror psychological.
Yes,
And
it got
so
in my head.
I could do slasher and gore and all that stuff. That's fine because I go, it's fake. Psychological, I go, my brain can make it real. And I go,
My brain can make it weird.
I'm too scared.
I've never in my life, I just remember in my nightmare, I was on the other side of a pane of glass, and then this evil possessed person just comes and like I'm like trying to run, but I can't, you know, and I'm just like, and there's nowhere for me to hide, and I just remember waking up going, it was crazy. And I'm like,
Interesting.
it was like, I've never had a dream like that.
Very
It says you can
interesting.
watch it on AMC Plus.
Oh, nice.
Well, no one has that, so.
What was the other movie that you said?
Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage. One of his.
And that's your one.
That's
your
my number one. Yeah,
Okay.
I had a great time. Also, spoiler alert.
Well, I like Nick Cage. I'm gonna see this one.
It's not really a spoiler.
Then why would you say that?
It's similar to what my last.
This is how.
overall,
He's like, the ending sucks.
Yeah.
Overall, yes. I basically the journey is more fun than the destination for that one.
I hate to keep going back to this Halloween stream, but all you complained about was the lame ending
Of what?
of the thing of the.
Well, that's because there was no
thing.
good journey. It's not like it's fun to watch that guy go on that.
But it ruined everything for you.
But that's
Ew,
where it's like, all
interesting.
right, this movie is not that fun to watch, but if there's a cool twist at the end, that might make it, retrospectively fun to watch. Whereas these movies are like really fun in the moment, and then it's just like, I'm like, okay, wow, that was the
It
journey.
seems like an interesting concept, so I probably will check this one out.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are yours?
So I didn't have. I had, according to my rankings, I didn't 5-star anything this year.
Okay.
But
Classic James.
2 4.5s.
Oh,
2 4.5s, and then a good number of 4s. Starting with the 4.5s. Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man
nice.
Across the Spider-Verse is pretty much damn near perfect.
So
I do wanna see that.
The only caveat to that is that it's so when something doesn't begin and doesn't end, it's a middle piece.
Yeah.
It's always hard for me. Like perfect films for me are like Boogie Nights, Royal Tenenbaums. Like they just exist in their own perfection. It's almost impossible. I'm only caveating this because it's not a strike against Across the Spider-Verse. I think that movie is great.
a cliffhanger ending is a strike for me.
But it's not even the ending. It's part of a piece of something. Like even like Two Towers or Return of the King, I wouldn't give 5 stars because they're a piece of something. It's like you have to count the franchise as a whole. That's just my little weird asterisk on it.
Makes sense.
But I think the movie is art. I think it's way longer than the first one. It's way longer than most animated films, and there was never a single point where I was like, all right, come on, it's just constantly going. It's also an excellent action movie where all of the action is moving the plot forward. It's not just like Vin Diesel, crashing into a Zeppelin for no reason.
Sure.
It's like all plot. It's like, oh, Miles is trying to figure out something about himself. So they like reveal that through an amazingly done action sequence. So the whole time I was watching it, I was thinking like, oh, this is the kind of thing young people will see and they will go, I'm going to be an artist someday. I want to make something like this someday. I want to learn how to do animation. Like there will be kids who will cite that film and also, Into the Spider-Verse before it as the things that awakened in them a love of this medium. A lot of people reference like Jurassic Park as like that was like a thing. They were like, oh my God, every generation has these things. I think this will be that. And I think in 20 years, we're gonna get some of the most incredible animated things ever, and it will be because of this movie.
This movie is packed with stars.
It's amazing.
This is star power.
It's packed with stars, but no one rises above anyone else. They are all they all fade into the character, and that's my favorite thing. I love Chris Pine, but when Chris Pine is the voice of so-and-so, and you're like, it's just Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the case in this. Oscar Isaac, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, Oscar Isaac is like in it and just fantastic. Haley Steinfeld, I always forget is Spider-Gwen in this. There's just so much talent embedded into this film.
Who do you attribute that to in overall?
I think something like this has to be a creative collaboration.
Well, I give, it's obvious, but Phil Lord is the man.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely think that there's a creative thing, but I also think that like he doesn't know how to make some of the things happen in that movie that happened in the movie. Some other genius who is also bought into the creative vision had to figure out how to make those things happen,
I just think that the awesome, like what you're talking about, the amazingly structured script that's so dense and stuff, they're just so good at that. And all their movies have that kind of, even like 21 Jump Street and stuff is so well scripted.
It feels like there was a script. Whether or not there was, it feels like there was a script. It feels like they storyboarded a whole movie before they really started going on it. I actually don't think this is the case because I'm pretty sure it was a very hard production.
Well, yeah, I know there's a lot of controversy on it. Like all big animated movies.
But
are
it
like
feels that way, and it all yields one extremely coherent vision. I don't know how much I buy into the auteur filmmaker concept anymore. The older I get and the more I collaborate with people, I'm like, no, you always need other people supporting this vision, bringing things that the best stuff is when you don't know how to do everything, when you're not the best at every phase of it. And you're like, here's my idea for this thing. And someone else goes, well, here's how I think this fits in perfectly. And then everyone works together.
Mm-hmm.
So like
that's the best feeling too.
The whole auteur filmmaker thing, I think, is bullshit. And the older I get, the more I realize that.
I wouldn't say it's bullshit. It's just, it depends on the size and scale of the movie. Like a big thing like that, you're right. It's impossible to do with one human being. You have to at least have somebody, like you're saying, with the vision to go get the right people and trust them and stuff at least, which is its own collaboration.
Yeah,
and, you know.
but like Spielberg is a genius, no doubt.
Sure.
But there's also a reason why he's like, I'm going to work with you again. I'm going to work with you again. I'm going to work with you again. It's because he understands that he alone cannot necessarily complete this vision.
I agree with that.
So that's my rant on Across the Spider-Verse.
Real quick,
Yes.
sorry. Because I
You scrolled pretty far down to find it in your rankings.
Well,
there.
no, I have this very depressing list. On top, yes, I go see all these movies, right? But I also have this super sad little list that's way longer than it should be of movies I fell asleep during the year.
Oh no!
And right now there's literally like
Dial of
12
Destiny's
movies
on there.
of these on here. It's so sad.
In the theater?
Not all these are in the theater, but like about 4 of these are in the theater. Spider-Verse was one of them in
How
the
do you
theater.
fall asleep in the theater? It's so
No,
loud.
I say that actually. I'm looking at this.
You recline.
There was 3 of these in the theater, and one Spider-Verse, Disney's Haunted Mansion, which I wanted to go to sleep. I was like, just kill me. And
I think that's my lowest rated of the year.
It
was more of a spite. It was more of a spite rating, but
and then I walked into The Flash.
Why didn't you just leave?
What? Well, I was with some people, and then I walked into The Flash, and after I saw No Hard Feelings, so I was like, oh, I'll just go watch this movie, and then I passed out. So I was like, I don't think that counts. Basically, it's a second movie. Anyway. So
I forgot so many movies. You're mentioning them, like, oh right, I must rate that as well. There we go, a nice 2 stars for The Flash.
So what's your other 4.5?
So my other 4.5 is Blackberry.
Ooh,
Blackberry.
Interesting. Okay,
Which is a kind of biopic comedy based on the device. The formation of the BlackBerry device.
That's my 21st favorite film out of 39.
There you go. And
I did enjoy it.
It seems like it's like it should be nothing. And it also came out at the same time as the Tetris movie and the Cheetos movie. And I didn't see either of those movies.
You didn't see Flamin' Hot?
No, though I heard Flamin' Hot is entirely fabricated.
Yes, it boggles the mind they actually
like
made
the
it.
family,
And
a story about a family or something?
It's like one guy at the place,
janitor
he's a
turns
janitor,
into making
he
Flaming
becomes-
Hot Cheetos
yeah,
executive.
It's all BS.
bullshit. They knew it when they made it.
Yeah.
Fuck Ivana Longoria.
So,
Longoria.
but I thought it was I guess because my expectations are kind of like, let's go check it out. I was like, it's getting okay reviews. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. Glenn Howerton. There's some great casting in it because you wouldn't think, but it feels like they hired like a lot of comedians. It's like if they got comedians to be in an Aaron Sorkin movie. And I thought that was really fun. So like Glenn Howerton, Dennis from It's Always Sunny, is this bald-headed maniac who is apparently extremely well representative of the actual person he's supposed to be. And it's a fascinating, I love the show Silicon Valley, about like the rise of tech and like how it changes people and how you keep up with that when the kind of thing is like, oh, you're $1 billion company now. You think that's like the end, but then it's like, no, you need to be like $1 trillion company. Like it's the constant growth and the virus of tech growth and stuff like that. And also it's really fun for me because like the time period is like something it's like Canada in like the late 90s, early 2000s is being represented or whatever. It just had a really unique vision, and it's also the guys who were in Nirvana, the band, the makers of the best sketch, 2 of the best sketches ever made. Number 1 is it's the theme song for the Nintendo eShop. You guys familiar with this one? Basically, it's an eShop. It's eShop Wednesday, and they're refreshing the store and it's playing the eShop theme song. And these two guys come down. They're really excited. And he's like, "Oh, we should write a song about like the eShop." And he's trying to like use the names of the games to like make the song, but it's really shitty. And then his other guy is like, "Here, let me try." And he does it, and it's incredible. And it just blows the other guys. He's like, "How are you doing?" It's a great sketch.
I love did you ever see The Dirties?
No.
You should watch The Dirties.
Is that their other?
It's Matt Johnson, the guy.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
actually never seen Nirvana, the show or whatever. But, I hear it's great. John Smith swears by it. But The Dirties is like a found footage school shooting comedy.
So that's probably why I haven't seen it, because it feels a little bit heavier than the story of the guy who made the Blackberry.
Yeah, but it's funny though.
Okay, yeah,
it's a funny movie.
But yeah, so those are my two like
top
two of the year that I can think of off the top of my head.
Well, we're going to take a quick break and hear a word from our sponsors, but then we're going to be back, and I want to talk about just a few of your other stars, and we'll talk about some of the worst movies that you saw.
Yes, please.
Great.
We'll be right back. Buying gifts for your loved ones is hard. I mean, what can I get my mom that says, "Thank you for raising me and continuing to put up with me"? A gift card, a candle, something tells me that won't quite hit the mark. Luckily, Aura Frames makes gift giving a whole lot easier with their digital picture frames that can be kept up to date with all your latest photos. It really is the gift that keeps on giving. Plus, the frames come with unlimited storage and simple controls, so you can upload as many photos as you want and pick the perfect ones to display on the frame. Aura displays photos in true color and automatically adjusts for the light level of the room. And at night, when you turn out the lights, your frame also turns off to save energy. This holiday season, see for yourself why it was named the #1 digital frame by Wirecutter, The Strategist, and Wired. I have an Aura frame. I love it. It's on my bookshelf, and I just see my little rotating pictures there all the time. It's just so sweet to have. From now through Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Aura is having their best deal of the year. Visit auraframes.com today and get $40 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with the code FHPOD. These frames have been selling out every year, though, so get yours now. That's AURA frames.com with the promo code FHPOD. Terms and conditions apply. It's officially time to kickstart your holiday shopping, but don't panic. Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for the most meaningful and out-of-the-ordinary gifts for everyone on your list. From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Whether you're shopping for mom, dad, teenagers, in-laws, or your best friends. They even have uncommon experiences like tarot card readings, romantic map making, cooking, and mixology classes, and more if you're looking for a new way to have fun and connect with your loved ones. I recently picked up this cute little coat rack. I don't have a closet in my hallway, so I always have to find somewhere to just kind of hang my hat. And it's super cute. It's beechwood. It's stylish. A lot of the stuff on the site is just really adorable. And I have a hard time picking the things that I want. Plus, with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/FHPod. That's uncommongoods.com/FHPod for 15% off. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/FHPod. That's uncommongoods.com/FHPod for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. All right, welcome back to the Funhaus Podcast.
My third favorite film.
Here we go.
Favorite
He's
film
right
of the
into
year.
it.
We're gonna have to talk through some of the 4 stars, the
I'll
upper middle.
I'll give you guys a few of these
Well,
movies, and then we'll move on. And I want to talk about the lowest of the lows.
I give this is probably one of my 4 stars for you, even though I do a 10-star system, so it would really be my 8. Anyway,
Okay.
it's neither here nor
Seems
there.
excessive.
Past Lives. Did you see this movie?
It's not the Angelina Jolie one.
No.
Wasn't
Past Lives the Angelina Jolie?
Wasn't Past Lives a movie starring Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke?
No. I
Was
don't
it
know
not?
I don't know what
Lindsey's
you're
got a
talking about.
laptop out.
Okay.
Past Lives,
I'm just
Angelina
seeing
Jolie.
Past Lives is just this very nice, sweet, human melodrama story about 2 people going in and out of each other's lives throughout their life. You know,
Taking lives.
Taking lives. That's it.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking
Sorry.
Yeah.
and yeah, I loved it. I just like it. It's a simple story, told very well, has cool cinematic things going on, and it was just one of those where when it ended, I was just like, man, they don't make movies like that anymore. That's just a nice, fun, or not even fun. It's just kind of a nice human story. I wanted to cry, but I don't. I didn't. It was
You
good.
didn't cry. Why don't you just let yourself cry?
Just let it go.
I should.
Just let it
I
go.
don't cry that often. Maybe
I
once
cry a
year,
lot.
or once every 5 years.
A couple of my 4-star shout outs.
Yeah, let's
Guardians of
hear
the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
I did see that.
As someone who is completely fatigued with Star Wars and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not that I wasn't expecting it to be good, because I kind of like all the, like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is like up there as like one of my favorites of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I was still like, I'm so over this. And I don't even think I had seen the last like 2 by the time I went in to see Guardians of the Galaxy. Really enjoyed it. Thought it was great. I was like,
James
this
Gunn's
is
the man.
but it was also the kind of thing where normally a movie like Thor Ragnarok, it's like, I'm back in, baby. But I was like, okay, no, I'm pretty much out because he's not making, this was his swan song with them. So I have no faith going forward. And then Bottoms.
I have Bottoms at number 10 for me right now.
Bottoms is...
You loved it?
I thought it was great. Yeah.
I thought it was really good.
Really?
I wanted to honestly love it more, to be honest.
I mean, as a comedy, as just a straight up comedy, I think it's like one of the best of the year.
I like it, a lot of it in concept. And then it was like probably the first like 20 minutes I'm going, I haven't really laughed at all, but not a big deal. No, it's maybe not for me. But then like by the end of the movie, I laughed a lot. You know?
I definitely enjoyed it. It's a great movie. I think the 2 leads are fantastic.
Oh yeah, Rachel Sennett rocks.
And Ayu Edebiri,
Yeah,
the other one.
She's great.
They're both great in it, and it's just a funny concept. They don't make comedies like, especially high school comedies anymore, and it's kind of got that like.
And no one went to see that one, so they're not going to make anything again.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where I watched it. I think it's like 90 minutes or like just barely above 90 minutes, and I was like, I could have gone for a little bit. You could have put 15 more minutes in there. Or I was like also thinking, this is the kind of thing where if they announced the Bottoms TV show, I was like, they have stuff. There's enough of the universe. Like it's the kind of universe where the losers are losers, but then like the football players are just walking around class wearing their pads all the time. Like it's like that kind of cartoon depiction of high school, but it's really good, and it's not. I feel like it's going to age better than a lot of those other ones from the 80s and 90s, because the people that are choosing to be outcasts and the people that are choosing to be popular aren't the most base level attributes to them. That's a lot more nuanced. And then Evil Dead Rise is also on there.
I have that way down. I think that's my 29th of 39.
That's fine. It's still on the best list.
No, it's not.
So it's all the best list, Ryan.
Well,
it's just the worst of the best.
It's one of the worst of the best.
Evil Dead Rise, I immediately came out of that movie and I was like, wow, Evil Dead is a stronger cinematic franchise than Star Wars, Marvel, DC. Yeah. Basically every other thing that they're trying to push in our face as being the cinematic universe, even though the connections are whatever loose. I was like, Evil Dead Rise manages to deliver more on what I want an Evil Dead movie to be every single time. Like the remake did it for me. This one I felt was a great extension.
I thought the remake or whatever, the one from 2013, the Fede Alvarez one, was great. It was and that one was more hardcore than the original ones, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, that's kind of has a little more of a twist. This one felt like someone going down the laundry list to me of going, this has to be in an Evil Dead movie and this has to be in an Evil Dead movie, and they just kind of put it out there.
I agree, which is what made me feel like it's part of a franchise. But I also think that it was a different setting, different terms, different, like the same similar stuff happened like in all Evil Dead movies, but it was like cool new vibes, and I was like, I don't know that we need to make an Evil Dead movie every single year, but I am confident that there are other people out there who get it and understand what should be in.
I won't be seeing that one either.
It's fun.
Can I give it just a couple more? I'll just go through these real quick. On my tops, like I said, Sick of Myself, great film. I think it's Belgium-ish. What do they speak in Belgium?
French.
Okay. Well, that movie's great. Go check that out. Don't try to go in blind. Then fifth,
Ryan, that movie came out last year.
Oh, get it off the list.
No, it's one of those where it was
released. It's probably released.
It was
somewhere.
like released at a film festival late last year, then it got picked up and distributed earlier this year. Anyway, same guy who did Dream Scenario. I have Killers of the Flower Moon as my fifth. I really enjoyed that, even though it's not perfect. It's not
Is that a long movie? Is
Oh
it-
yeah, it's way too long.
see,
3.5.
sucks.
I know that's what stopped me from seeing it.
Sometimes I think like, oh, that's in the zeitgeist right now, and I see ads for it. I'll go see it, and then I see, like, I got dragged to Oppenheimer because that was part of a big moment.
Well,
I was like,
don't.
this is way too long.
It just. Like, I hate long movies. We've talked about this before.
we've talked about
but
this,
like it's so weird to me how Oppenheimer gets caught up in this thing and makes $1 billion plus, and everyone's just seemingly don't care about the 3-hour time thing. They're like, oh, well, I gotta go see Oppenheimer. Yeah, it's 3 hours, whatever. But then a movie like Martin Scorsese's movie comes out and everyone's like, oh, 3+ hours? Fuck that. Which I get. I mean, I don't like the runtime either.
I felt the same way about both. I was like, yeah, 3 hours.
Well, it's just crazy
is too long.
that Oppenheimer made $1 billion plus bucks.
People don't like to admit that Oppenheimer rode the coattails of Barbie.
Yes.
And apparently that's
why.
what I believe
That's
now.
the
It
only
really
reason it
is.
made
They're
that
like, oh, they
money.
worked together to create this thing. I was like, I don't think so.
No.
I think
Yeah.
Barbie created a thing, and in the wake of that thing, Oppenheimer got to cruise. I think if Barbie didn't come out, Oppenheimer probably would have had maybe a big first weekend, but then trailed off as people realized it was a much more slow, introspective look and this historical figure.
Well, I was hearing rumors that, because Nolan left Warner Brothers because he felt, smited by them.
Yeah.
And then he had his release date. And then Barbie, I heard, or like the Zavlov or whatever was like, all right, we're going to put our release date around Barbie or around Oppenheimer to fuck with Christopher Nolan. This is like the Hollywood dirt I heard.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
That
But
he hears in this office.
But then apparently that worked out for everyone involved. So no one got fucked over. Everyone.
Just another CEO using his big brain to figure out amazing things that no one could have ever thought of.
It didn't work for
completely
Paw
on
Patrol.
accident.
Saw
Saw Patrol.
Patrol, I
That
mean,
was
yeah.
dumb as hell. No, it's not the same demo, you idiots. What do you think? Someone's gonna go from one theater to the next? You morons.
Lastly, I really like the Jennifer Lawrence movie, No Hard Feelings. No one else seemed to really care about it.
That's 2-star on my list.
Really? You didn't like it?
Not
I liked it
funny.
a lot.
Didn't think it was good.
I was cracking up. And then The Other Fellow, which is a documentary about people named James Bond. I want everyone to go see this movie. It's really good.
I feel like you were talking about this.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's just how does being named James Bond affect people in their life? And that's a question I've always wanted to know the answer to.
Always.
Yeah.
I wanted to know. Interesting. We don't have to get into it because we've already gotten into it. Barbie is also up there as my top of the year.
Megan, we all saw it together. I liked it a lot.
Oh yeah,
Reality, the HBO movie about Reality Winner. That was a really interesting movie.
Oh okay.
Yeah, it's like an FBI interrogation. Anyway,
I was just gonna say one thing about Barbie, where obviously I really loved it. It was one of the only movies I saw in the theater this year, but I watched it on a plane when I was like traveling because I bought it as soon as it came out, and then I was like, did I love this movie as much as I thought that I did? Maybe I didn't. And then my friend invited me to a screening, and I got to sit there and listen to Greta Gerwig and the sound mixers and stuff talk about the movie. But before I watched the movie in the theater again, I was like, yeah, okay, the theater. I was like, maybe I should go to the theater more. All that to say, maybe I should watch more movies, you guys.
Yeah.
yeah, always.
I'm a
watch it
TV
up.
gal though.
I watched a lot of great TV
I watched a
this
lot
year.
of TV this year.
Yeah.
I'll shout out a couple other shout outs. Haunting of Venice,
Didn't watch it.
which those other two movies are stinkers. The
Murder-
other two
Murder on the
Poirots,
Orient Express.
sure.
is fine.
If you literally want to just watch 2 hours of just people going in talking to people,
Yeah.
it's the marketing made it seem like, oh, they're going to make it exciting because that book is basically Poirot just going like, I will talk to you, and now I will talk to you, and now I will talk to you, and that's the whole. It's just interrogation after interrogation,
Yeah.
which is fine. And the trailer made it seem like, oh, it's going to be exciting. It was not. It was pretty faithful, boring adaptation of it. And then Death on the Nile, I didn't even finish that movie.
I didn't start it.
They didn't finish making it. It's pretty
Yeah.
obvious that when the Army Hammer stuff happened, they were like, well, that's it. Your visual effects budget, you're not going to get to fill in all the green screens behind you. It's going to look like shit. But Haunting of Venice, not great, but the best of the three by far.
Okay.
And the most fun. And it takes a lot of it's a complete adaptation. It's not even remotely close to, because I think, what is it, like Halloween Party is like the actual name of that book or whatever. But it's a very loose adaptation, but I felt like it was the most fun, and the cast, I think, is the strongest of all of them. The cast is the most interesting, so I like that.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and the only one I was gonna say is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was a lot of fun as well.
Back to Haunting in Venice.
Yes.
Like, I was like, I don't know if I want to see this, but maybe I will. But then, this might just be me, and you don't have to give any spoilers, but I just kept thinking, like, all right, there's clearly going to be a whole through line of, like, is something supernatural happening, you know? And I really don't have any interest in that. I don't know.
I mean, that you're right. That is definitely an aspect of it. And you're like, oh, Poirot, he's a skeptic. He's always figuring out, there's strange things happen, but he can always find an excuse for it. But this time, can he? That's the conceit almost entirely of the mystery.
No interest.
But I thought it's fun. The setting is really cool. It's like almost the entire thing takes place in this really old house in Venice that's creaking and moving because the place is sinking and there's storms and stuff like that.
Venice Beach is sinking?
Yep, Venice Beach. We're losing
shit.
it. I almost lost Muscle Beach. No, Venice, Italy. But yeah, so those are the only ones that I currently have listed here in my like tops, and there probably should be even some. There's tiers. Even in the 4-star,
I have tiers too.
There's tiers.
Fast X I throw out too. I like that a lot. Anyway, that's all.
But yeah, so those are probably the best movies of the year. I've seen some amazing TV as well, but I feel like that's whole different podcast.
It is a whole different podcast. It's, you know, if I find my way, we'd only talk about TV. But, you know, what's the worst movie?
Fuck Knock at the Cabin.
Was that this year?
Yes.
Yeah, that movie sucks.
That movie fucking sucks.
I still don't understand though how you hate that movie, but you love Old.
Old is great. And Old also, similar to this year, came out on a mediocre year. Old would not have been in my top 10 last year, but it was my number 1 from 2 years ago because of, you know, whatever. But no, the just central conceit of Old is way more fun to explore and think about and do all this stuff. It was just like, oh, people are aging old. And this was just like, what is happening? It's like this mystery box movie of like, ooh, you don't know what the fuck's going on the whole time. And then when they reveal what is happening, I'm like, fuck this. Like, I hate this.
It's interesting because I just felt watching this, I felt the exact same way about it as I felt about Old, which is like, what is happening here? What's going on? This is crazy. What's going on here? People are turning old. People are showing, like almost archangel-like people are showing up at their and telling them they have to kill, like the same things. And then you're watching and you're like, they're getting older. Okay, they're older now. And then this one is like, okay, they're killing people. More people are dying. Another one's dead. It was just like, all right. And then you kept waiting for it to unfold and open on itself and then reveal, aha, this is what it all meant. And I felt like neither of those movies did it at all.
Old at least gives you I
know what you're going to say. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Old just tells you that people know the beach turns you old.
Uh-huh.
No one cared about that question. Watching that movie, no one asks, well, what would you do with an old beach? Everyone asks, why does the beach turn you old?
Well, right,
and the movie goes, you don't care about that. What you do care about is prescription medicines.
No, but every monster movie or whatever doesn't have to have an explanation for why the thing exists or whatever, you know? And I kind of like that.
Well, sure, unless it's like unless there's supposed to be some sort of natural disaster. I would argue that Knock at the Cabin does the exact same thing. They're natural disasters. They're basically going, are you willing to sacrifice someone from your own family or cut off your future generation because the planet is dying? Like that is the metaphor that they're trying to convey. Like your comfort in modernity is coming at the cost of other people because the planet is dying.
Yeah, well, that really didn't come through that well, that part. But the getting old is something everyone can relate to. You know, it's just like, and you're getting old fast. And then, like, to your point, it's like, yes, at the end, they don't reveal how it's happening. But I did like, it's like, oh, okay, this is why all this stuff is going on this beach today, at least, you know. And it worked for me.
I didn't care.
I accepted it. I go, okay, the beach makes you old, and these people are exploiting that. Good enough
prescription
for me.
medicines. They're like, oh, for prescription medicines. I'm like, I don't care what they do at the old beach. Why does it turn you old?
Well, I was at Knock at the Cabin being like, all right, so they're the four horsemen of the apocalypse. I guess, yeah, this is like a real life Bible thing. And okay, at the end of the thing, they reveal they're the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Wow.
Well, they don't even
cool.
really reveal that.
They don't really.
I think that both suck. I think it's funny to me that one is at the bottom of your list one year and the other's at the top when I see them as almost exactly the same movie.
No, Old is great. Knock at the Cabin sucks.
What? I mean, well, on IMDb, Old is rated lower than Knock at the Cabin. But
That boggles my mind.
what is the last, I guess, actually good M. Night film? I haven't
Old.
seen a lot of...
No, Split.
It's Old.
Split, in my opinion, was
yes.
a genuinely good movie, and
Yeah.
it kind of marveled me. I was like, maybe he's got it back, baby. And then Glass came out afterwards, and I was like, he does not.
Well, and I seem to be the biggest apologist for The Visit. I love The Visit, and no one else likes it. I think you hate it.
I don't hate it, but it does the thing that every single found footage movie does is you need to explain why I'm watching it, I think. You need to explain why I'm watching it, number one.
The little girl just wants to be a filmmaker or whatever.
Which is the dumbest excuse. I also want to be a filmmaker, and I don't walk around documenting everything.
Are you 13 years old?
When I was 13 years old, I had a camera. I didn't do that shit.
She does.
So
I
think it was a dumb concept to return to a genre that had already died out. It wasn't smart enough. And then I'm like, so did the police cut this together? Like I just didn't think it is good to warrant a return. I just felt like his M. Night Shyamalan, which is what he does, is he makes these small budget movies that he can take out personal loans to basically pay for, so that way he can make a huge amount of profit. I didn't think he had an amazing creative vision for anything he's made. I think he sees how much he can make it for, so that way he can make tens of millions of dollars off the back of it.
No. That's a weird breakdown.
M. Night
of that.
Shyamalan also has a record of stealing independent film grants and stuff by making his movies within certain budget constraints, so that way all the other independent filmmakers can't use any of them.
Well,
so I think he sucks too.
But at the end of the day,
Wow.
without the grant thing, though, like you're saying, like he is just trying to make a buck and make these cheap movies. I feel like it's the opposite, where I mean, there's that element to it, but it's also like he has complete fucking creative control to make any. He's like, all right, if I can just get it under this budget, then I can make my movie. And I don't think you can. I don't feel like any of them of his filmography is like, oh, that one is just a cash grab, other than like maybe Last Airbender or something. Which
Well, they're all terrible. They're almost all terrible.
Well, but that's his. That is his
horrible
filmmaking.
vision.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. To me, they're popcorn movies that some of them are better than others. You know, like Sixth Sense, I don't think is terrible.
No, yeah.
Unbreakable, I don't think it's terrible.
Sixth
Signs
Sense is
isn't
great.
terrible.
He made 2.
Signs.
Nope, I don't count Signs.
Okay, well, I agree with you that he's not the best filmmaker.
Yeah.
But I appreciate his little niche that he has, and I feel like I wish more movies kind of had that, like, $20 to $30 million budget, but it's still
Blumhouse is kind of doing that.
yeah, Blumhouse is doing that.
Yeah.
To various results.
Some of my we both, I think we had both agreed at our worst was like Haunted Mansion. That was
Well,
on
I
your
fell
one-
asleep
fell
during
asleep.
it,
I
but yeah.
stayed up through the whole thing, but did you see
I
Haunted
hated
No,
it.
Mansion?
I was
fucking
not
sucked.
interested. That is a movie I'd heard of. Some of the movies that you guys were talking about, I was like, oh, I haven't heard of this. I'll check it out. Oh, I'd watch that. Obviously, I heard about the Haunted Mansion. I was like, oh, no.
I just didn't understand
just
the
didn't think-
purpose
Yeah.
Yeah, I
of
didn't
it
think
at
I
all.
needed to see that.
And it's weird because like it's based on an amusement park ride, and you would want it to be so like vibrant, but there's like no color palette in that whole movie.
Right.
It's all brown and orange lights. And like it's just like so desaturated. I literally was asking other people to check it on their Disney Plus to see if it looked that way or if something was wrong with our version, and everyone's like it looked bad. Elise saw it in theaters and she said she didn't remember it being that bad. So maybe something, but I just also the whole premise of it I didn't understand why
It felt
like,
so dashed together.
yes.
That director kind of sucks.
What else did he do? I thought
He did Dear White People, which is fine.
Is that anything else? I feel like he did something else, and I was like, oh, he did something good
He did the Dear White People TV show too.
on Bad Hair.
I have a little, I guess, note about the Haunted Mansion. It's not related to the movie, but I actually didn't know that the Haunted Mansion wasn't Nightmare at Christmas a thing because
The what?
every
Like-
time I'd gone to Disneyland
Oh.
for like the first 5 or 6 times I went was around Halloween or Christmas.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this is great. And then the first time I went in the summer, I was like, let's go to Haunted Mansion. I went in and it was the Haunted Mansion. And I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Where's Jack Skellington?
Yeah. I think it's.
So
I think. I mean.
I didn't know.
I understand purists, but I think the ride is way more fun as a Nightmare Before Christmas crossover. Also,
That's my
Jared
thing.
fucking Leto. How someone find out. I'm not encouraging anyone to hack into anything, but if you're going through some files and you find out how much in the Disney files Jared Leto was paid for the role of the Hatbox Ghost, please DM me or something. I need to know because he's in this movie. If they paid him more than $2,500 to be in this movie, it was a fucking waste. And not isn't saying that I need more Jared Leto or I like or I dislike Jared Leto, but he's a big star. And there is literally one photoshopped image of his face in this movie, and the rest of it is a CG character that most of the time you see its feet and whose voice is modulated beyond compare. There's nothing left of Jared Leto in this. This isn't Andy Serkis performing the Ape Caesar, okay? There's nothing left of him.
And it's funny because in the opening credits, it says, they make a point to say,
big point.
starring Jared Leto
As the Hatbox
Ghost.
Ghost. And there's no reason. So if he did a favor and he was like, just give me $2,500, it's fine. He's like, give my salary to the extras. Then awesome. I'm fine with him being in there. But if he was paid anything remotely close to what he probably gets for movies, what a horrendous waste.
Well, it was just it was marketing to get his name on the poster so that they could. Oh, I want to see Jared Leto as the Hatbox Ghost, and then he,
There should be a site that you can look that stuff up.
The
it's like Vin
salaries of
Diesel
certain
being
stuff.
Groot.
Yeah, for like different movies.
The thing is, I know Lakeith Stanfield's great. I love Lakeith Stanfield.
He's great.
I've said in the past, Lakeith Stanfield is my future Joker. I would
Okay.
love to see him do an interpretation as like a crazy, chaotic Batman villain. And so anytime I see him in something and I'm like, why is he seem so uninterested in this?
Yeah.
I do not blame him. I blame the script or I blame something else. And then the other thing, I don't know how much more time we have, but honorable bad mention to the creator.
Didn't see it.
The creator. That's
The creator, it was
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, about the AI. There's like AI, but it's a child. It's an AI baby or
The
whatever.
whole world's fate
Is this
rests
the
on one
movie
child.
that had like viral marketing at like football games where people were wearing the things?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't
Yes,
think-
there
did
was
it?
like I'll look it up.
Well,
but
either way, it was beautiful, looked beautiful. Also, it was like $80 million or something. And if you can make a movie that looks like this with this scale for $80 million, ain't no excuse for some $200 million movie. Ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
Would make a great like coffee table book. Looking at the concept art and the designs and stuff
I'm
for it.
surprised you didn't see this as somebody who goes to Chargers games, but like I don't know if you can
Wow.
see it, but like
What the fuck?
hang on.
So they had the things
So like
on
they
their
had
ears.
him in the audience.
It's interesting because that's not even like how they look.
Well, and it just looks like someone
In
has
the-
headphones on.
The plot of this movie is so
I can see them.
convoluted and strange, and it sets up these rules of the world that it immediately
it.
breaks. And like I went and saw it with a friend, and we didn't talk the whole time. And then afterwards, like I was like, "What'd you think?" I was like, "Yeah, I don't know." He's like, "I don't know either." And then he was like, "What was the deal with that character?" And I was like, "What was the deal with like?" And then it just became an avalanche
Yeah.
of like you're slowly going, "Why did he go there? What was he thinking? What was the plan?" Like there's a whole point in the movie where a bomb has been set and then someone has a detonator, but the bomb also has a timer on it. And so he's fighting over the detonator like he needs to get to it. But the bomb has a timer on it. So why is the detonator doesn't matter? And then ultimately it doesn't matter and the bomb just goes off. None of it matters. There's like so many things where you're like, why did that happen? None of that mattered. Like, or like, what was he thinking was gonna, like, there's so much lack of logic in the plot of that movie. It drove me crazy. And for the next week, we were just asking each other questions, like, just to make sure we didn't miss something. Like, was there something that happened? No, nothing happened there. Like, why was it a baby robot?
It could be anything.
And you go, well, that baby was special. Why? What about the baby was special? Did they ever explain what was special about the baby? Well, the baby did this one thing, but it directly contradicts what they said the baby was capable of doing. Like, is it because it was a baby? If it was a baby, did the mechanics grow too? Did the robot parts grow? Like, none of it made any sense. The more you thought about it, it just crumbled like a sand castle every time a wave lapped against it. And so it was a shame because it looks so pretty. It looks so good, but man, that sucks.
Well, I have written down some of the favorite movies that you guys mentioned that I haven't seen, and I think I might check them out. I was just gonna say that, you know, I can have this in the description too, so people can go check out some of James and Ryan's favorite movies this year, and let us know, you know. And then I want to see all the comments of them ranking them. Did you have something to add?
Just honorable bad mentions.
Okay, go for it.
Real quick, did you remind me? Did you ever see Beau is Afraid? We never talked about that.
No. Okay. I didn't, because it was 3 hours.
Yeah. It's in the back half of my list, but the more I've thought about it, it's kind of creeped up a few slots. I'm like, you know, I like that more than that.
This year?
Yeah, it was earlier this year. But yeah, other kind of honorable bad mentions. I thought David Fincher's Killer kind of blew. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it yet, but we talked about it a little bit.
Sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the most David Fincher-y movie, but in like all the bad ways, basically. It's very cold. This movie, 65 fucking sucked with Adam Driver, the dinosaur movie.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it?
No, but I could have told you. I had a feeling.
I just was like, spoiler alert for 65, but you know, they have this whole marketing campaign. It's like, oh my God, it's 65 million years ago, and there's human beings there, which kind of raises a bunch of questions, right? Like, oh, how did that happen? Who are they? Did they start humanity? You know, are they aliens or what's going on here? And so to me, that was like the central question that the movie was going to be answering. It didn't.
Wasn't it like a Planet of the Apes type scenario where he was like in space and then he like crash landed and he thought he crash landed back on Earth, but he like accidentally crash landed in the past or whatever? I haven't seen it. Okay.
The answer is
no.
The
trailer was like, oh, he's a space guy. He's in space.
Well, it doesn't answer anything. It just is like a space guy shows up on Earth when the dinosaurs are here, and then he is in some dinosaur fights with the little girl, and then at some point the asteroids are coming, so they have to get off of Earth.
Okay.
End of movie. Fuck you.
All right. Okay.
The film. So that movie sucked. And then lastly, no one has seen this movie, but I just thought it was kind of a funny story. It's my least favorite movie of the year called You'll Never Find Me.
I saw that.
Did you really?
No. I'm sorry.
Oh my
God.
You
gave the, I had
Well, it was funny because I went to Scream Fest. I was like, oh, I want to go to a film festival here in LA. You know, I want to go to one of the horror ones. And I've been to Scream Fest before. And so I went, I was like, oh, I saw that this one movie got good reviews. So I'm like, fuck it. That's all I need to see. I'm going to go to it. And there was a 20-minute short film or something. I didn't know how long it was going to be, but there was a short film that was going to be playing as well. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So this movie, I go in, this movie starts, and I'm sitting there going, okay, you know, it's like this guy in a cabin with this girl coming that like her car broke down nearby and stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, this is, you know, this short film and we'll get to the movie. And then like 20 minutes goes by, 30 minutes goes by. And I'm like, okay, this is a long ass short film and this sucks. And then finally I realized like way too late, like an hour in the movie, I'm like, this is not a short film. This is they're playing they must be playing the short after the movie, which is what happened, which is so weird, right?
Yeah.
So it was just bizarre to be in a feature movie thinking that it's a short that will end at any second.
The pacing's, yeah.
And so, but it also sucked too. Like nothing cool is happening.
Yeah.
They're just talking and it's kind of this moody, atmospheric movie. And then finally, like 30 more minutes later, and then it just ends abruptly. I'm like, I hated every second of that. Okay. And it was also my fault because I didn't know that the whole short thing threw me off. And then they played a short after it that sucked. You know, like for 20 minutes. Yeah. So that was just kind of a funny viewing experience. Don't go see You'll Never Find Me. And I think that's all of my honorable mentions.
We didn't mention The Flash, but The Flash is also bad.
Flash is not great.
Well, thank you guys for taking time to break down your top and worst movies of the year.
Last thing, I know I love movies so much. I have so much to say. But, it's Thanksgiving. We got a month more movies, and I have a short list of movies that I am excited to still see.
Specific contenders for top spot.
Poor Things with Emma Stone is going to be great. I think.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That looks great.
Napoleon, Ridley Scott. I don't know. Could be good.
He's already Ridley Scott's already arguing with people, and I don't think that movie's out.
Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon Part 1. Oof.
I will listen. I'll be there day one. Yeah, but I am not holding my breath.
Me neither. Zone of Interest. The guy who did Under the Skin. It's a Holocaust.
Sounds like a blast.
Film. Woody Allen's Coupe de Chance.
Not going to see
French 50th movie. Okay, not have to go into that anymore. Aggro Drift. Harmony Korine's movie shot entirely with infrared cameras.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
I know. Maestro, the Bradley Cooper. Big Nose movie. Good Burger 2.
We don't need a Good Burger. We don't need a sequel to Good Burger.
I go, I'll see that one.
I rewatched Good Burger 1 earlier this year. We do not need a sequel.
It does not need it.
Todd Haynes is May December about Mary Lou Coturno. You know who that is? Like the teacher that had a relationship with her student back in the 90s.
Oh, and then they got married.
And then they got married later in life. And Todd Haynes.
I just saw a billboard for that.
Yeah, it looks good.
Sounds hot.
And a little film I want to see called Hundreds of Beavers.
All right. Okay.
Well, Ryan has put his phone down upside down, and I have to go. Yeah. So once again, thank you guys. I appreciate your time. We got a few more episodes left this year and of the Funhaus Podcast, so make sure you tune in to listen to those. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving if you're eating a big old turkey today. But make sure to come back because we do have a few more episodes left, and we're going to try to get a bunch of people in here and talk about some of our favorite Funhaus moments and some other highlights of 2023 maybe. So yeah, come back.
We love movies.
We love movies.
I think they're all right.